Alright, so hello to everyone and good day. For today, we are going to discuss tips and tricks, no, on how are you going to prepare proof of class. Alright, so for our objectives for this lesson, first we are going to reconcile, no, the deposit in transits and the outstanding checks. Since we will be dealing with the proof of cash, alright, so we actually need to update, no, kung magkano na ba yung ating deposit in transits and ilan na lang ba yung ating outstanding checks for the period. Alright? So, it is actually a preparation for us, no, to before we will be able to prepare a proof of cash. Okay. So, next objective natin, we try to understand ano ba talaga si proof of cash. Okay, so ano ba yung purpose, no? Bakit ba natin ginagawa si proof of cash? And of course, our third objective, now we are going to prepare a proof of cash. So later on, I'm going to show you a couple of techniques and observation. Hindi naman siya actually more on technique, no? Para sa akin, it's just a mere observation. I wanted you to observe, no? Paano ba ginagawa yung atin pong proof of cash natin. Okay, so kung paano ba natin siya mapapadali, no, na sa paggawa ng proof of cash. Okay? So yun nga lang, of course, here, we'll be dealing with the basic procedures on how you're going to prepare a proof of cash. But later on, no, if time permits us, maybe we could have a proof of cash in an auditing problem style. Ayan. Okay. So for the meantime, let us first, no, prepare ourselves to learn the basics and the foundation of the proof of cash. Okay, so first lesson natin, what are deposits in transits? So last time, ang deposit in transits po na discuss natin, it is a bank reconciling item. Okay, so bank reconciling item po siya, no? So it means ito po yung mga na-record na sa books pero hindi pa nare-record ni bangko kasi hindi pa siya dumadating kay bangko. Alright? So basically, ang deposit in transits is computed as yung deposits made, no, under the books. Ito yung pinadeposito natin under the books or under our ledgers versus or minus yung ating bank credits from collections. Okay, so kung magkano yung dumating na kay bangko na pinadeposito natin. So syempre kapag ka meron dapat niya parehas ng amount, di ba? So kapag ka meron pang mas maliit yung bank credits natin, so ibig sabihin po niyan, meron pa tayong deposits in transits. Okay, so meron pang hindi nare-receive or hindi pa nare-record si bank. Probably na-receive na, no? Based on our discussion on the previous video. Na-receive na yan, yun nga lang hindi pa nakikredit yan ni bank kasi nga baka inabot ng cut-off niya. Okay, so hindi pa siya na-credit, no, ni bangko. So basically, yun siya, no? So magkano yung pinadeposito and then magkano yung na-credit na ni bank. So kapag ka merong hindi pa na-credit si bank, that is equal to our deposits in transits. Alright. So, syempre, yung deposits in transits po natin, if we are trying to compare, diba, yung ating debits to cash and credits to bank, no, we need to segregate, no, the debits to cash and the credits to bank. Okay? So, bakit? Kasi, hindi lahat ng na-debit sa books, okay, sa ledger, hindi lahat ng na-debits to cash ay collections na pinadeposito. Alright? O hindi lahat. Okay? Nang na-debit sa cash ay collections na pinadeposito. Alright? So ano yung hindi collections na pinadeposito? Yun yung credit memo. Okay? Siyempre, no, yung credit memo, na-record na yan ni bank. Okay? So yung books ay hindi pa. So nung nag-bank reconciliation tayo, you can watch the previous video, no, the bank reconciliation, no? Nung nagkaroon ng credit memo, gumawa tayo ng adjusting entry to record the credit memo and we debited cash. So meaning, kasama siya ng book debits. But it is not, no, a deposited collection. Hindi siya collections na pinadeposito kasi nandun na siya kay bangko. Alright? So meaning, from the total book debits, ima-minus natin yung credit memo ng previous period. Okay? Kasi yung credit memo ng previous period, madedeposito ay mare-record po yan for the current period. Diba? Eh kasi kailan ka ba nagbabank recon? Siyempre, month end. Diba? Eh kailan mo malalaman na may credit memo? Ay tapos na yung month end. Okay? So kailan mo siya mare-record? Eh di the following period. So meaning napasama siya dun sa book debits nung succeeding period. Pero hindi siya deposited collections. So minus mo siya. So that makuha mo dito yung deposited collections for the current period. So ito yung mga book debits that is equal to the deposited collections. Alright. Now, so pagdating naman po kay bank credits, hindi lahat ng bank credits ay galing sa deposits. Okay? So tatanggalin natin yung hindi galing sa deposits pero na bank credit natin. So sino siya? Yung credit memo for the current period. Okay? So if we have a credit memo for the current period, kinredit yan ni bank sa account natin. Ibig sabihin, nadagdagan yung account natin. Pero hindi siya galing sa deposits. Alright? So we need to remove para makuha natin yung bank credits from deposits. Okay? So, yun yung purpose nito, no? So, kailangan nating i-segregate, kailangan nating ihiwalay. Kasi we are just talking about the undeposited collections. So, doon po kasi manggagaling yung atin pong deposit in transit. So, kapag ka na-segregate na natin, ayan, so ito na yung formula natin, katulad ng kanina. So, we have the deposited collections versus yung na-receive na, di ba? So, yung difference po niyan is equal to the deposit in transits. Ayan. Okay? So, yun yung deposit in transits natin. Alright. So, ito naman, third formula naman natin, no, for the deposit in transits. Pwede po dito, no, we have the deposited collections. Magkano yung pinadeposito natin for the current period. Okay? Plus yung deposit in transit last period. Siyempre, yan dalawang yan, hinihintay natin na ma-acknowledge ni bank or dumating yan kay bank. Minus yung bank credits for the current period. So, yung difference niyan, makuha natin is still our deposit in transit. So, there you have three ways to compute for the deposits in transit. So, bakit tayo nagko-compute ng deposit in transits? Ayan, kasi later on, sasabihin natin, no, malalaman mo na ang proof of cash po is a dual-dated bank reconciliation. Okay, so meaning we're not dealing with only a single deposit in transits, but a multiple deposit in transits depending on the period. Per period po yan. And usually, yan po ay per month. So, iba yung deposit in transit last month, iba yung deposit in transit this month. Okay? And this is how you are going to compute for the deposits in transits. Okay. Ayan. So, let's have our example, no? Ayan. So, the following information was obtained in connection with the audit of Wise Company's cash account as of December 31, 2020. So, meron siyang outstanding checks ng November. Meron siyang outstanding checks ng December. Meron siyang deposit in transit ng November. Okay? O, yun lang, no? Deposit in transit ng November lang, no? Wala yung December. Alright? Now, so cash balance for general ledger on December 31, we have 37,500. So the actual company collections from its customers during December was 152,500. So sino po ito, no? Yung actual collections natin during December. So ito po yung mga na-records doon po sa ating cash receipts journal. Ayan, yung nasa ledger po natin. Ano? Ayan. So company checks paid by the bank in December. So checks paid by the bank, ito po yung bank debits from checks. Right? Bank debits from checks niya. Kasi binayaran na daw ni bank. Okay? Ayan. So next we have the bank service charge. Ayan, debit memo. Alam natin yan. It is a debit memo. Okay, so we have bank service charge for December. Okay, so meron tayong December. Yung sa previous, recorded on the company books in December. Ito ni-record daw nung December. Alright, ayan, kasi dalawa, no? Explain natin, ha? So, itong bank service charge na na-record in the company books in December, ayan po ay bank service charge ng November. Ayan. Just like what I've said kanina, no? In the previous video natin on the bank reconciliation, it is part of the adjusting entry. Yun nga lang, yung adjusting entry po niyan, marirecord the following month. Okay, the following period. So meaning, nung nag-bank reco ng November, bank service charge, na-record siya ng December. So that here, we have the bank service charge per December per bank statement. Ito yung parent natin, no? Yung bank service charge ng December. And then we have the deposits credited by bank during December. O yun, so meron na tayo ngayon, no? Yung ilan daw yung na-credit ng bank from the deposit. So that's 145 lang. Okay, so based on our information kanina, iba pa yon. Okay, so yun yung sa books natin. Ito yung nasa bank natin. Okay, so now, so November service charge recorded in the company books in November. So we still have 1.5. So ito ay additional pa natin. Okay, now. So the cash receipts books of December is underfooted by 2,500. Ayan. So cash receipts books ay underfooted. So ibig sabihin po niyan, kulang no, yung cash receipts books po natin. Okay, so the bank erroneously charged the company's account for 3,750 check of another depositor. So ito ay erroneous bank debits. Ayan. So the bank error was corrected in January 2021. Wala naman palang problema kasi na-correct na siya. So question, how much is the deposit in transits on December 31, 2020? So there's a lot of information in this particular problem. Actually, pwede kang gumawa dito ng bank return or proof of cash for November and December. Alright? Pero here, but before we are able to compute for the bank reconciliation ng December, of course, we have a missing information, no? Yung deposit in transit. So let us use this information or this example, no, to illustrate yung concept or yung formulas po natin kanina. Okay. Ayan. Okay. So here we have the December actual collections from customer. Okay? So, syempre dito sa December, actual collections natin for customer, sabi nga natin, yan po is yung supposedly ipapadeposito po natin lahat yan. Right? Yung buong collections natin. Okay? So, i-add natin yung deposit in transits ng November na 12.5. So, ibig sabihin, we have 165,000 that is actually being deposited doon kay bangko. O, yan yung pinadeposito natin. Yung 152.5 for December and yung 12.5 outstanding no November. Okay? So, minus 145, ito yung deposits o yung deposit credited by bank. So, yan pa lang yung nakikredit ni bank sa atin. So, therefore, meron pa tayong 20,000 deposit in transits for December. Ayan. Okay, so in this scenario, ang ginamit po natin, ito yung yung pangatlong alternative formula natin na na-discuss a while ago. Alright, ayan. So, syempre dito, depende naman po kung ano yung given sa ating information. Okay, doon sa gagamitin po ninyong formula na pinresent natin kanina. Alright, ayan. So, let's talk about our outstanding checks. Okay, so, ang outstanding checks natin, as we have discussed on the previous video, ito po yung mga check or yung personal check na in-issue po ng entity na hindi pa na-encash or nasa-certify ni banko. So, basically, ang formula natin dyan, we have the checks issued less the check and cash or certified by the bank. So, we have the outstanding check. So, it is still waiting no, na ma-encash sa banko. Okay? Yun nga lang, syempre, sa atin, sa books natin, na-minus na natin siya sa cash kay bangko, hindi pa niya nade-debit. Okay? Kasi nga, hindi pa pinapresent yung cheque for payment. Okay. So, we now have a more detailed formula for the outstanding checks. Okay? So, yan po yung outstanding checks. Ang typo lang po yan. Okay? So, kung papansin mo dito kay outstanding checks, no, they follow the same principle or formula dun sa deposit in transits. Okay, so sa outstanding checks natin, kukuhanin po natin dyan lahat ng checks issued galing sa book credits. Okay, so syempre book credits yan eh. Right, nung nag-issue tayo ng cheque, di ba? Debit sa accounts payable, credit cash. So, nandun yan sa book credits. Nga lang, hindi lahat kasi ng na-credit sa cash ay cheque. Yung iba ay debit memo. Ayan. So, tatanggalin natin yung debit memo nung previous period. Alright, so we have to remove the debit memo of the previous period kasi ngayon yan na-credit sa cash ngayong period. So that we'll be able to arrive with our checks issued. Yan. So kung magkano yung checks issued natin ngayon. So out of the checks issued per books, compare natin siya doon po sa checks that was encashed by the bank. So ito po yung ating bank debits. Nga lang, hindi kasi lahat ng bank debits ay checks encashed by the bank. Yung iba niyan, debit memo. Ayan, okay. O, bank debits din po ang debit memo. Yun nga lang, hindi yan cheque. Alright? Hindi siya cheque. So, i-minus natin siya. Alright? Para makuha natin yung checks encashed by the bank. Okay? So, we compare the checks issued dun sa checks encashed by the bank. So, we are able to arrive with the outstanding checks natin. Yan. Okay? So again, just like deposit and transits, no, pwede tayong yung third alternative formula natin for the outstanding check. So we have the checks issued current for the current period plus the outstanding check of the previous period less the checks and cash by the bank. So we are able to arrive with the outstanding check for the current period. Okay? Ayan. So kung papansin mo, the deposit and transits and the outstanding checks, they have shared the same principle and concept. Okay? Ayan. Kaya ako I suggest kahit na isa lang yung memorize mo dyan as long as ma-absorb mo no, yung gusto nating iparating dyan, you're now good to go with these topics. Okay, so let's have an example. So, loan company is preparing its March 31 bank reconciliation. So, the following data are available. So, we have the March data per bank and per book. So, we have the balance of February 28. All right. And then we have the March deposits. Okay. So, deposits yan kay bank. And then versus deposits per books, no? Per books, ang deposit lang, 490. Pero ang natatanggap pa lang ni bank, it's 476. Okay. And then we have the checks. Okay. Notes collected by the bank. So, that's a credit memo. And then the service charge. So that's a debit memo. And then we have the unadjusted balances per March. So as we can see, hindi sila balance. Alright, so they needed to be reconciled. Okay. From February 28 bank reconciliation, nung nag-bank reconciliation daw ng Feb 28, ang deposit in transits was 18.2 and the outstanding checks was 38.1. So the bank charged an erroneous debit of 15,000. So the book collections was understated by 7,200. Okay. So although again, this is a complete problem that we are able to compute a proof of cash in a bank reconciliation. So let us now focus on how are we going to compute for the outstanding check for March 31. Okay, to have our illustration for the concept that we have discussed. Okay. So dito, syempre, ang gamitin natin dito yung ano, no? Yung pangatlong formulas ulit po natin. So we have the outstanding checks ng February. So that's 38.1. So plus the checks issued per books, 610. So meaning we still have 648,100 the checks that are awaiting to be deducted kay Bangko. Okay? Yan. So syempre dito, no, tingnan po natin kung magkano po yung na-deduct kay Bangko. Ayan. So checks cleared per bank, so that's 617,000. Yun nga lang, meron si bank na erroneous debit mo. Okay, so charge tayo ng 15,000. Alright? So, ima-minus po natin siya dito. Okay? Kasi dyan po ay erroneous debit. Okay? So, hindi naman po dapat na napasama yun dyan. So, therefore, ang checks cleared lang ng bank, yung check natin. So, that is 600. So, that leaves us with our outstanding check for March 31 of 46,100. Ayan. Okay? So, kompleto na information, we can now proceed with the proof of cash afterwards. Alright. Ayan. Okay. So let us now go to the main topic of this video. which is the proof of cash. Okay, so the proof of cash is a dual-dated bank reconciliation. Okay, so it is an auditing procedure used to ascertain accuracy of disbursements and receipts. Okay? So, meaning dito, ang tinetest po natin for proof of cash is the reconciliation of the receipts and disbursements. Specifically, yung cash disbursement journal natin and the cash receipts journal natin. Kasi nga, sabi nga natin, bakit tayo nagbabank recon? It's for us to know the correct cash balance. So, that is to be forwarded sa ating pong balance sheet. So, ang purpose naman po ng proof of cash is to ascertain the accuracy ng ating cash disbursement journals and the cash receipts journals. Okay, so sila po yung nire-reconcile natin. Now, so before we create a proof of cash, marami pong techniques probably ang naituro na sa inyo regarding the proof of cash. So ngayon po, we're going to have an observation of how a proof of cash is being created or prepared. All right, and then I'm going to give you some inputs and techniques and observations that could actually help you to check kung tama ba yung ginagawa mong proof of cash. Okay? Okay. So, first technique po dito na ginagawa ko pagdating kay proof of cash, no? Ayan. Tatandaan mo po na yung una at yung dulo, yung first and fourth column ng proof of cash, yan po ay bank reconciliation. Okay? Yan po ay bank reconciliation. So, if you know bank reconciliation, well, definitely madali yung dalawang column na yan, no? Yung first and yung fourth column. Alright? Ang poproblemahin mo na lang ngayon is yung mga nandun sa loob. Okay? So, ako personally, ginagawa kong technique dyan. Ganito, no? Lahat po nung mga nasa previous, naka-minus yan dun sa receipts and disbursement. Lahat nung mga current, naka-add yan sa receipts and disbursement. Okay? Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? Pagpansinin mo yung credit memo ng previous period. Ang credit memo po, ina-add yan sa bank reconciliation. Okay? O, tignan mo yung credit memo on the previous period, naka-add siya sa previous period. Pero sa receipts, siya ay naka-minus. Bakit? Previous period yan. Okay? O, tignan mo yung debit memo ng previous period. Ang debit memo ng previous period is deducted on the bank reconciliation on the first column. Tama ba? Ayun, di ba makita mo? Pero anong gagawin sa kanya sa disbursement column? Again, nakadeduct. Bakit nakadeduct? Galing kasi yan ng previous period. So meaning, lahat po ng reconciling items ng previous, naka-minus po yan sa receipts and disbursements. Okay. O ngayon, pagdating sa current period, pansinin mo, lahat ng reconciling items ng current period naka-add sa receipts and disbursement. O, credit memo, current period, naka-add sa bank reconciliation. Sa receipts, column, naka-add din siya. O, debit memo for the current period, naka-minus sa bank reconciliation. Pero sa disbursement column, naka-add siya. Alright? O, napansin mo yon? Okay? So sa ako dati, ganun yung ginagawa kong technique, no? Para mas maintindihan ko siya. Meron pa nga sinabi ng teacher ko noon, no? Magnet daw, magnet, di ba? Kapag ka unlike signs, magkadikit. Pag like signs, magkahiwalay. Ayun. No? Pansinin mo lahat ng magkakadikit na figures. Alright? Magkaiba ng sign. Pagka magkalayo yung figures, parehas ng sign. So positive sila or negative. Alright? So, pwede rin naman po iyon. Alright? So, to check, no, kung tama ba yung ginagawa mong proof of cash. Alright. So, another observation. Okay. So, tatandaan mo yung first column, that is for the previous period. Okay? Previous period yan. Yung second, third, and fourth, yung receipts, disbursement, and current, yan po ay current period. Alright? Yung current period ng sinasagutan mong problem. Okay? So, yung previous, yung first column lang. The rest are current na po siya. Okay, ito pa, another observation. Di ba? Kapag hinati mo po yan sa first and second, third and fourth, balance po sila. Ibig sabihin, yung value, kapag inad mo yung first and second column is equal to the value of the third and fourth column. They are balanced. Okay? Kaya tignan mo yung credit memo ng previous period. Nasa first and second column siya. Plus and minus. Zero. O ano yung nakalagay sa kabilang side? Zero. Wala, di ba? So, balance sila. O, i-check mo yung credit memo ng current period. Meron ka sa second column, meron ka sa fourth column. O, di balance sila. Di ba? So, meron ka on the left side and on the right side. O, yung debit memo ng previous period. Meron ka sa first column, meron ka sa third column. Still they are balanced. Parehas kasi silang may minus. Okay? So that's another observations that you can ponder on. Alright? In preparing your proof of cash. Kasi tell you, kasi yan po, no, kung i-analyze mo yan, pwede mo naman pong i-analyze yan. Wala naman pong problema. Alright? Mamaya i-analyze natin yung pagka gumawa tayo. Pero mas okay pa din kung meron ka pong mga gantong klase ng technique. At least, dito pa lang makikita mo kung tama ba yung ginagawa mo. Okay? Yan. So let us have an example problem for our proof of cash. Okay, so Lira Company prepared the following bank reconciliation dated June 30 of the current year. So meron siyang balance per bank, then deposit in transits, minus outstanding check, is naging ano siya, no? Balance per book. Okay, so isa lang yung ibig sabihin yan. Walang reconciling item yung book. Okay, wala siyang reconciling item. Because when you created that one, balance per bank, okay, then deposit in transit and outstanding check, the answer should be the correct cash balance. Ayan daw yung balance per book. So meaning, kung balance per book yan, walang credit memo, walang debit memo, ayan, correct cash balance ka na din. So meaning, wala pong reconciling item si book. Now, ayan. So there were total deposits of 6,500,000 and charges for disbursement of 9 million for July per bank statement. Okay. So, July na pinag-uusapan natin. So, meaning current natin is yung July. So, all reconciliation items on June 30 cleared the bank on July 31. So, checks outstanding amounted to 1 million and deposit in transits totaled 1.2 million on July 31. Okay, so ito yung information natin on July 31. So, siyempre, hindi na natin gagawin yung kanina, no? Wherein nag-compute ka ng deposit in transit and outstanding checks for the current month. Okay, now, so if we're going to prepare a proof of cash, okay, so gagawa tayo ng proof of cash natin. Okay, so here we have the four columns, no? So makita mo dito, no? We have already the information kay June. Okay, kay June. So, saan galing yung information kay June? Ito po yung bank reconciliation na pinresent kanina. So, that's the 9.8 million plus 400,000 minus 1.4. And then we have the adjusted balance of 8.8. Okay. So for the technique, you can observe for the techniques here. Makita mo dito, yung lahat ng reconciling items dito sa previous sa June naka-minus sa credits and debits ng bangko. Okay, naka-minus yan lahat. Bakit? They are all previous. Okay, so ano yung explanation? Ganito po yung explanation natin. Itong bank credits po na to, itong 6.5 million. Yan po ay bank credits ng July. July yan. Okay? So bakit may minus yung deposit in transit? Kasi yan pong deposit in transit ng June. Kailan siya nag-bank recon niyan? June 30. Okay, hindi siya June 30 nag-bank recon kasi ang June 30 ay cut-off. Nag-bank recon siya ng July 1. Okay, for the June 30. So meaning, yung 400,000 na deposit in transits, na-record yan July or nag-clear yan sa bangko ng July. O yun nga lang, syempre, hindi naman siya credits ng July. Alright? Siya ay credits na June. Kaya tinanggal natin yung 400,000. Kaya siya naka-minus dyan. Nakuha po. Now, for the 9 million debits, bank debits. Okay, ito yung mga disbursement ni banks. Alright? So, yung 9 million na yan, debits yan ng July. Okay, debits yan ng July. Alright? So, syempre, yung mga debits na yan, mga cheque yan. Eh, syempre, naka-minus yung outstanding checks ng June. Bakit naka-minus yung outstanding checks ng June? Eh, kasi po, yung 1.4 million na clear yan, July. So, meaning na-record siya sa bangko ng July. Kaya minus yung 1.4 kasi for the 6.5 and 9 million, we are trying to determine kung magkano yung kay July. Okay? So, tinatanggalin natin kung magkano yung kay June. Alright? Ayan. O, sa auditing, merong assertions yan eh. Di ba? Yung cut-off procedure natin. Okay? Cut-off ba yun? O yung no? Tama, cut-off procedure, yung auditing procedure po natin. So, it means that we are segregating the items occurred in different periods. Alright? So, yung kay June, kay June. Yung kay July, kay July. Alright? O, yun po yung nangyari dyan sa bank reconciliation ng June. Okay? So, wherein dito, yung bank balance natin, so we have 9.8 ng June, unadjusted, plus 6.5 minus 9 million. So, we are able to arrive with the bank statement balance of 7.3 dito sa July. Okay? So, plus, minus. So, 9.8 plus 6.5 minus 9. So, we have 7.3. Okay? So, yun yung bank statement balance natin ng July. Okay? So as we can see here, we can actually complete the bank reconciliation ng July by adding the deposit in transits ng July and deducting the outstanding checks ng July. Alright? So we are able to have the adjusted balance in July of 7.5 million. Okay? So for the reconciling items ng July, pansinin mo dun sa credits and debits natin, naka-add siya. Okay? Bakit? Eh kasi hindi pa siya nare-record eh. Let's say for example, the deposit in transits na 1.2. Hindi pa yan nare-record ni Bangko. Diba? Kasi darating yan, baka mamaya August na. Okay? Pero syempre, isasama niya na siya dun sa bank credits. Yan. So, yung 1.2. Okay? Ganon din po sa outstanding checks. Isasama na siya as part of the disbursements. Kaya naka-add siya. Ayan. Okay? And there we have a complete proof of cash. Okay? Now, kung titingnan mo, you observe mo, no, yung ating pong sabi natin, dapat balance. Diba? O pwede naman, first column plus second column is equals to third column plus fourth column. Okay? Ayan. So, meaning here, our adjusted bank credits is 7.3 million and then the adjusted bank debits is 8.6 million. So, meaning sa books, yung ating pong book receipts and book disbursements, dapat ito din po yung amounts nila or their adjusted balances. And the correct cash balance for July, it's 7.5 million. Okay? Ayan. Alright, and that ends our discussion of the proof of cash. So again, we focus on the foundation. Okay, on how you are going to prepare a proof of cash. There are still a lot of problems that have a higher difficulty. Especially kapag ikaw po ay nandun na sa auditing. Okay, pagdating mo po sa auditing, mas marami pa po ang may encounter mong reconciling items. Hindi lang reconciling items, pati mga errors. Marami pa din. Alright, I hope that you have understand or learned something from this video. So, magkita-kita po tayo ulit sa mga susunod pa po nating mga video. So, thank you and have a nice day.